Welcome everybody back to an episode of The Cover 2, episode 24. We are back from spring break, back from a week off. Gus Johnson help us introduce the show again.
That's right. Always.
So today we're going to touch a little bit on some NFL stuff that our last show kind of just missed. It aired right before all this stuff kind of happened.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do a little bit of basketball today. We don't normally do this.
Boom.
So we're gonna give out our superlatives for the March Madness tournament so far. So that'll be fun. But first, there were three kind of major things we haven't really touched on yet. You know, you got Deshaun Watson going to the Browns. You got Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins.
Yeah, that one wasn't. That was
kind of had a brain fart there for a second.
My least favorite news of the entire week.
Yeah, because they are now in the AFC East for you. So
I'll be so excited for Tua to throw him a slant and him go like 70 yards.
Oh, for sure. And then of course we got Devonte Adams going to the Raiders, teaming up with his former teammate, Fresno State alum Derek Carr.
He owes him a car too.
Yeah, he does.
He owes him a car.
I saw that. So. What kind of car is he going to get him? Do you know?
I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think the purchase has been made, but
I want to say somewhere I saw that it was going to be a Ferrari. So
I think we're in the wrong for profession. We need to start playing football.
He definitely signed a big enough contract to buy himself a car if he wanted to. Buy himself a couple cars.
He could buy a lot.
But yeah, Deshaun Watson. I guess we start with him. So it turns out he wasn't indicted on any of his charges. We won't comment too much about that because, I guess you can never really know unless he were to come out and say it if he was guilty or not. But he was decided that he was not guilty, so he is back in the NFL. It is not clear yet whether he'll be suspended or not, but he gets traded to the Cleveland Browns and now has a $230 million fully guaranteed contract.
Oh wow, that was. Two things I didn't see coming was him going to the Browns.
Yeah, because I thought he said he didn't really want to go somewhere.
I was following super closely with this because my brother's a Falcons fan, and they were apparently the front runners. So he was glued to Twitter, and it said that Cleveland was out, and then it says Deshaun Watson goes to Cleveland, and then the next I see he gets $230 million guaranteed. They're just going to wipe his previous contract and just start new.
Pretty much. Also, I guess we got to also mention Matt Ryan. Also went
to the Colts, the domino effect.
We kind of
Baker Mayfield's now
glossed over that. But
now does Baker Mayfield next year with his progressive commercials, since he's technically not at home, is it going to be like homeless with Baker Mayfield?
No, so as long I want to say I saw something on Twitter that the Browns right now are probably going to keep him on the roster maybe.
Really?
So what it's going to be is going to be at home with Baker Mayfield, but he'll actually be in his house because there will be no need for him to go
on the bench with
Baker
Mayfield.
Yeah, on the bench, on the couch, watching from home because
the clipboard.
They don't need him.
With Baker Mayfield.
But yeah, I guess good for the Browns. They get a quarterback that at least in theory should be an upgrade. I'm going to assume it's an upgrade, but
we'll see how rusty he is.
Yeah,
and we'll see what the NFL does with the suspension, but when he plays at his best, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. Mm-hmm. It's safe to. He's not necessarily like a Rodgers or maybe like because I would assume top 5 is where we would put him. Maybe some people would say top 8, but he definitely elevates Cleveland to a Super Bowl team like we thought they would be going into this year, revved up, ready to go. It's just been a disaster for Cleveland. So you add Deshaun Watson, and they clear the controversy out the way. They finally become a team with not a lot of noise surrounding them. They can just focus on football. Kevin Stefanski's an excellent head coach. This should be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how the AFC North plays out because honestly, any one of those teams I think could win a Super Bowl.
Right.
I think it's potentially. No, I don't know. I kind of thought about this walking over here to the building where we film, but is the AFC North potentially going to be better than the AFC West?
We'll have to see. It's gonna depend on a lot of factors. I think we're gonna see how the Chargers respond. Every team, I feel like in the AFC that was contending, besides New England, has found a way to upgrade. And you can say whatever you like. Buffalo's gotten Von Miller, so their pass rush is better. That makes them a better team. They are able to retain Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. That makes them a better team. Denver finally gets a quarterback. That makes them a better team. The Raiders get a wide receiver 2 because we know Hunter Renfrow is that wide receiver 1 in the Las Vegas Raiders with Devonte Adams. Kidding, of course. But the Chargers got Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. That makes them a better team. The Chiefs didn't necessarily improve, but they're going to get younger and cheaper at receiver, we assume. And then the AFC North, I know I'm like going on and on, but they got Mitchell Trubisky, who's an improvement over Ben Roethlisberger for sure. The Bengals got a boost on the offensive line. The Ravens are going to be healthy. And the Browns get Deshaun Watson. Everybody's getting healthier. So those are the 2 top divisions, but everybody seems like they're improving.
Yeah, for sure. Who do you think wins the AFC North out of the 4?
My bet right now is probably going to be the Bengals because I think they're going to continue that momentum. They're going to have a head start over everybody because it feels like the Ravens, they're going to have to get back into a groove. The Steelers will have growing pains, but they'll probably be right where they were last year, just probably a little bit better, maybe a win or 2 more.
Yeah.
I can see the NFL just suspending Deshaun Watson for 8 games. Maybe they decide to throw the year on him. We don't know. So until then, I can't really say Cleveland is a contender for anything until we figure out what that situation is.
That's fair. The only thing is now people will have a year of Bengals film in which.
Yeah, but they got that line boosted up, and that was their glaring weakness.
They didn't need a significant upgrade, I don't think.
But they did it.
Yeah, but they did it, and they didn't break the bank either.
Yeah, so.
We were talking about the AFC West, so let's transition a little bit. We can talk about Devonte Adams. He is now a Raider. He did not want any more of the Rodgers drama, it seems like, because Green Bay was willing to give him a contract, but he decided not to take it, decided he wanted to go to Las Vegas. So
it was really his last dance when he made that post, in July.
Yeah, it was his last dance.
It was his last dance.
Not Rodgers's. So unfortunate for Aaron Rodgers. He now gets to he lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling too.
Aaron Rodgers is like Will Smith in that Fresh Prince meme. It was really a smack to the face to Rodgers, really.
Yeah. You got to get the Will Smith love in here.
How many, is it too soon or is it too late for that kind of joke?
It's might be more too late because just Twitter after that was crazy.
It was a field day yesterday.
It was awesome.
Cow.
Wow.
Whew. You know what? Well, should we do a little bit of a side? Should we break down the Chris Rock, Will Smith?
We might have to make that a separate episode.
We might have to. There's just a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
there.
but obviously Las Vegas is a better team now.
Yeah.
Their receiving core is kind of set with.
And they got Chandler Jones.
Yeah, they got Chandler. Oh, yes, they got Chandler Jones as well. But they now have Davonte Adams on one side, Bryan Edwards on another, and Hunter Renfrow in the slot. It's a really, really decent receiving core.
Yeah, I wonder if I loved the memes though. Hunter Renfrow's gained so much respect this season. They're like, man, it's gonna be tough for Devonte. This is obviously a joke, but they're like, man, it's gonna be tough for Devonte to get snaps now that Hunter Renfrow is really the true number 1 guy, the franchise piece. And I was like, you know what? That's right. Mm-hmm. That is right.
Devonte actually, I believe, said in an interview that he's hoping Hunter Renfrow can teach him some stuff. So.
Ooh, respect.
Yeah, massive respect for our boy Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah. Once thought as the water boy at practice when he first came here, and now an NFL stud.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess quickly Tyreek Hill. He is this happened so quickly. It happened within like an hour. You get the alert on your phone that Tyreek Hill's contract extensions are stalling. So you know what? It looks like the Chiefs may look to move him. Then you get the notification Miami and the Jets are involved. Okay, you're like, okay, this is getting a little interesting. Then all of a sudden, Tyreek Hill traded to the Dolphins. You're like, wow, okay. So I guess this is interesting because he still had a year left on his deal. So you wonder why, maybe the Chiefs don't wait a year to do this.
I guess
because he's still under contract.
Is it Mahomes' contract that's starting to hold them back?
I mean,
could that be? I don't know the specifics of Mahomes' deal, but eventually that's going to start to get very expensive very soon.
I believe it kicks in this year, but you still have him under contract. It's not like you necessarily need to move Tyreek Hill off the books. You now have an aging Travis Kelce. I guess at the beginning of the season, a lot of teams were playing this two-man safety look that kind of, minimized Tyreek Hill's effect. So maybe Andy Reid looked at that and was like, I got to try and find something different. So maybe going to bring in different receivers, different weapons to kind of transform that offense.
Yeah.
But it was just a little interesting that they still have him on contract for another year, but they decided to move him now.
Yeah, and what I'm really interested to see is how this makes how much better will Tua be for this? Because he's getting I think he has the fastest by a long shot receiver with Jaylen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill. The question is
Preston Williams as well.
Yeah, he's quick too. Great for New England. I mean, great, yeah. But the best thing that this is the best possible thing that can happen for Tua. He gets a coach that believes in him. He's got a GM that believes in him. So we're really going to see what he's all about. Because if they go 8-9 again, they're trading him out.
This is Tua's kind of definitive year.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people are seeing that this as it's his make or break. So the Dolphins definitely got enough weapons to allow him to succeed. That will not be an issue.
It's unfortunate.
They also got Teron Armstead as well.
He's got protection. He's got a deep threat. He's got
Chase Edmonds. He's also got Raheem Mostert as well.
Raheem Mostert, man. Unbelievable.
So, I guess NFL news kind of wrapped it up, kind of went through it a little bit quickly, but we wanted to get to our March Madness
what a tournament
analysis. It has been a great tournament. It's been filled with a lot of upsets and a lot of great games. There haven't been so many buzzer beaters, kind of last-second shots.
Maybe they're saving that for the end.
Maybe it'll be another Villanova UNC. Oh, wait a minute. Another Villanova UNC buzzer beater. Jenkins will come out of retirement.
We got all the craziness of this tournament, and we still end with the blue blood Final Four.
That was kind of crazy. I mean, you had Iowa State, you had St. Peter's, you had Miami, you had even UNC's an 8th seed.
But they still kind of feel like they. That was very evident in that St. Peter's game. 2 minutes in, you're like, oh, geez, here we go. And you know what? I have a bone to pick with St. Peter's. Fantastic run. But I got up early in the morning. I got ready because I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend my last day of spring break. I'm going to drive up, and I'm going to get there so I don't miss the St. Peter's game. I sit down. I get there right by 5.
Wait, where'd you go? St. Peter's?
Well, I was home. And I was like, I want to make it back to Clemson before the St. Peter's game.
I was really confused. I thought you were going up to St. Peter's to
I went up to St. Peter's to hang out with the alums and all that. And
all 5 of them.
I want to find the 0.04% of people that put St. Peter's in the Final Four. That was something. But let's just roll through the list of the things we kind of come up with. Your favorite, we're going to really just kind of go through the tournament and kind of reflect, reminisce, but through our own unique way. So we'll just start with the favorite player or team to watch. And so I'm going to just let you take the floor for this one.
I'll get to this a little bit later, but a lot of the tournament's top players kind of went out early.
Yeah, that's true.
This has also been a year where that's kind of been deprived of, a lot of times in March Madness tournaments, it's about who has the best guards. It's about who has the most dynamic guards, who's going to go off and average 30 points a game. And, we had players like JD Note, who was really, really eager to jack shots up.
He was like me in 2K with my player.
Exactly.
Everybody get out the way. I got this.
Doesn't matter how good you are. I'm taking the shot. I enjoyed watching JD Note a bit. I really enjoyed watching Arkansas. Jaylen Williams.
He jacked up 35 shots. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, Jaylen Williams. Gotta love watching him draw charges.
Oh yeah.
I believe he leads the league in drawn charges with 50 something. So that was fun to watch. And that last game against Duke, although they were kind of blown out a little bit, he made some great passes, made some great plays.
He was fighting too. He was hurting at the end. I think he was going for a dunk, and he just completely fell. All body on the floor.
Yeah.
And it looked like he had just hurt his back really badly, but he was continuing to compete. Arkansas was actually one of my favorite teams.
I enjoyed watching them.
Really appreciated the way they played. Besides the fact JD Note throwing up 40 shots a game, they were a really well-balanced team, and he was unbelievable. I mean, he would jack up 40 shots, but the ones that went in, you're like, oh my gosh, ow.
I mean, I guess when you shoot enough of them.
But when I do that in the gym, they just all go that way, and then somehow.
You also got Eric Mussman, who is super fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
You got his hair is always wet. Can somebody explain that
He was
to me?
sweating, man. He's nervous.
I don't think it's sweat though, because like
Does he?
if you watch an Arkansas game from beginning to end, his hair is maybe it's like gel or something. I guess it's probably gel, but it looks extremely wet all the time, and I don't understand why.
Maybe like to get himself hyped up, he like pours water on his head before he goes out there.
I
He's
mean,
like,
maybe,
oh.
but his shirt's dry and his face is dry.
Maybe,
like
like,
he's
he's
not
got
sweating.
towel.
He's not sweating.
Maybe it's his
I
pregame
swear.
ritual. He's like, all right, guys, who's got the Gatorade bottle? And he just like pours it on his head.
I guess it's gel, but like he doesn't have a crazy amount of hair where he needs gel.
He's got to just keep it all together.
Look
it up.
I guess our audience won't be able to see, but like I swear
On YouTube
his
you
hair
will.
is always wet. So if next time you watch an Arkansas game and they zoom in, I don't know, probably not.
That
but
looks very much
it was
Photoshop.
probably just a recruitment photo or something, or Photoshop or something. But
Brian
anyways,
Kelly photo.
Next time you watch an Arkansas basketball game and they zoom in on Eric Mussman, his hair will be wet. I guarantee it.
You really caught on to this. This is like
I don't know. I just whenever I watch him, his hair is always wet, and I don't understand why.
You know, what's someone I love to watch, and this is everybody's favorite one to watch, was by the name of Mr. Doug Eater.
Yep.
Of course. He
Everybody's
had
favorite.
the stash, the hair.
He's got the Buffalo Wild Wings now.
Yeah. Brady Manick was another one. He looked like,
He's very
I
fun to
told you
watch.
this, he looks like he should be advertising for the Slim Jim. No,
Yep.
not Slim Jim. It's like Jack Link's beef jerky. Because there you go. Thank you, Zach.
I agree with that one.
But it was so frustrating because he looked like he was just kind of there to be a body, and then he'd pull up from three, and it just looked so effortless and smooth.
I mean, he was the
Oklahoma transfer.
He's kind of been their best. You got Armando Bacot, who's a walking double-double, but
Yeah, he's
I
good.
would go as far and say Brady Manick has been their best player all season. He's been the clutch guy. He's been the one that's gone off when they've played Duke both times. The one time where they got blown out by Duke, he was kind of the one player that kind of shone through and looked like he wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And then the next time when they blow out Coach K at Cameron Indoor, he was also very, very good. So he's been very consistent all season, and he's been fun to watch.
When he got ejected in the Baylor game, that's the reason when Baylor stormed back, because I think Manick had like 27 points. There was like 10 minutes left in the second half, and then he gets ejected, and Baylor storms back. So it was kind of like he was their
He's been their key.
line of the team.
What about disappointment of the tournament to transition to?
I think you need to start this. You got your little name there.
Yeah. So let me explain. So last year, the tournament starts. You got to have a bracket.
Story time. Let me get ready for this.
Having a little bit of Ohio State bias.
Right.
I pick Ohio State, the 2 seed. Now, my logic was there. They were a team that could have gotten very, very hot, a team kind of like Alabama, that, if they get hot, they hit their shots. You see them in the Final Four all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They had E.J. Liddell, they had Dwayne Washington, who unfortunately they played, Max Asmus, Kevin O'Banner, and Oral Roberts, and decided to not hit their shots.
Oral Roberts.
And not play defense.
We remember
and they
that.
lost. So
we remember that.
I was done. My bracket was done. At the time, I also had COVID. So I was watching this while having COVID.
Oh, no.
The first day last year, 2021, my bracket was done on the first day.
That was the first day.
So going into this year, who do I decide to pick? I'm like, I can't pick a team that's volatile like Ohio State to not win the March Madness, because I'm going to be just as heartbroken. So I got to pick a safe pick. Who's a safe team? I don't want to pick Gonzaga because everybody's going to pick Gonzaga, and therefore, how am I going to win a bracket pool if everybody's picking Gonzaga?
Yeah, of course.
And of course, Gonzaga didn't even win. They didn't even make the Final Four.
Yeah, that was the smart choice, yeah.
So who's somebody that, maybe a few people have picked, maybe have a decent chance to win, but not everybody is picking them.
Yeah, right.
Kentucky. I see Kentucky on in my bracket. And they have Baylor, who's probably the weakest 1 seed.
Right. They were injured. They were injured.
They were
Smart.
injured, and they also were the first 1 seed to lose. They have Purdue, who in their region, who doesn't like to play defense.
That's right.
They have UCLA, who's been kind of off and on all year.
I actually picked them to win. They were my pick.
They got kind of far.
They got far. They got far. They got to the 5-minute mark of the Sweet 16.
I look at the region, I'm like, this is Kentucky's region to lose.
It should be so easy, yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the Final Four, anything can happen.
That's right.
They're not a team that's built like standard John Calipari teams
What
where
could possibly go
they're
wrong
all
with this
freshmen.
pick?
You know, they have a lot of transfers. They have Oscar Shibwe,
They're ready to
probably
go.
the player of the year. They have Kellen O'Grady, who I really like as a shooter.
Wait, do I hear something? Oh my gosh, it's St. Peter's!
And what happens? My team that I choose to win loses on the first day again to a 15 seed. My bracket's busted 2 years in a row without me getting through the day.
It's so tough.
What do I do? I mean, this has been 2 years in a row. It's just funny at this point.
I'm excited for next year's pick.
Look, I really thought Kentucky was going to do very, very well. They've been a
You
massive
were
disappointment.
the only one in the bracket that had them. Actually, you were one of the only two.
In your bracket challenge for the Grace Man with a Plan podcast bracket challenge?
Yeah, so we got a tight race coming in the end, but
Well, I'm obviously not.
I thought you were a separator because Kentucky was like.
That's exactly my
It was a
point. If
minority
Kentucky
pick.
wins, I win because nobody's choosing them. But
Usually-
they're still a top seed.
It was like half Gonzaga, and then everyone had their like own little fun pick. And I thought Kentucky was pretty smart, but that did not go well.
So 2 years in a row. Next year, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess maybe I just do the women's bracket challenge now.
You should just pick like a random 5 or 4 seed and just be really
Well, they
safe
might
about
lose
it.
first day. So I just got to go with the favorite next year or something.
Just go pick the women's UConn team. They're in the Final Four. No,
I'll
wait,
just
they're
do
not.
whatever.
They're not. Oh, yeah,
whatever
they
I
are.
think is going to happen, I'm going to not do that.
You're gonna not do that.
So
I'm excited for next year. I'm really excited because we could be here in the same spot and you could be ranting yet again.
and I could have yet again chosen a 2 seed to go far, and they lose to a 15 seed. But
This therapy session was presented by Tigervision.
it felt good to get through that one. But yes, Kentucky was an obvious disappointment. Although it doesn't look as bad because St. Peter's made the run they did,
It wasn't like they went and lost to Marquette the next
Yeah.
game. So
or Murray State, I believe.
right, yeah.
Marquette lost to UNC. I also picked Marquette to win, so.
I had my worst bad beat of my bracket was having the South Dakota State Jackrabbits in the Sweet 16.
A lot of people
I
had that.
believed
So
in the
I
hype.
didn't do that one. I picked
believed.
Providence because a lot of people were like, they're lucky, they're not going to get through. Luck brought them to the Sweet 16.
And Providence got their work cut out for them against
Yeah.
Kansas. But let's go to the surprise of the tourney, and this might be a little bit of might be a nerve that we're hitting for you here, but obviously
yeah, at this
St.
point.
Peter's is the.
I've gotten
It
past
is-
it. I've cried through it.
It's a low-hanging fruit at this point, but Michigan was one for me. They kind of got there. So we talked about Juwan Howard punching that guy.
Yep.
He got suspended, and he gets his little turnaround redemption. Michigan goes to the Sweet 16. They beat Tennessee, a popular pick.
Yeah.
Destroyed a couple
yeah, for
brackets
sure.
at this place. I was with some friends and family. Tennessee was a pick to win. It was my pick in the Tigervision bracket. Thought I was
That's
being clever.
unfortunate. They were a very, very hot team.
Yeah.
A lot of people had them
I
going
was
far.
excited. They
I had 'em
beat
Final Four.
Longwood. I should have been like, man, it's Longwood, Grayson. Talk some sense
Mm-hmm.
into yourself. But
Yeah, but Miami also. I feel like
No
because
love.
St. Peter's kind of stole this whole tournament as the Cinderella, but Miami is also a double-digit seed.
Good for Dan Radkovich.
Who got to the Elite Eight. You had Jim Larinaga with some brilliant moments on TV.
did not want to see Charles
Did not
Barkley.
want to see Charles Barkley with his shirt off.
Did not. This is a G-rated show too.
Oh,
'cause
yeah,
we will
for
not.
sure.
We didn't want to see that either.
Also, the ACC. Everybody was talking about it was a down year for the ACC.
We
Kinda-
got
that
two
kinda
teams in the
sucked.
Final Four, baby.
2 teams in the Final Four, 3 in the Elite Eight.
I was right. And Clemson,
Clemson
at home,
basketball
baby.
is
at home.
obviously they just had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
pretty fair to
clear.
see.
Come on, guys.
It's not our fault that we have to play, Final Four teams and Elite Eight teams all the time.
It's just the burden of being in such a good conference, man.
It was too much for us this year,
Yeah.
but we'll be back
We
next
really
year.
sacrificed our basketball hopes and dreams for that NC State kick about 6 years ago.
Yeah. So, Clemson will be back next year to help
Lose in the first round.
reload an ACC conference that was clearly loaded this year.
Yeah, no, but hey, we have faith in PJ Hall. He is the truth.
But yeah, I mentioned Jim Larinaga. He's probably my pick for coach of the tournament. You obviously have Shaheen Holloway, who is going to Seton Hall now.
Yeah.
He signed his deal right after he lost. He decided to bounce out of there, but You gotta secure the bag after a tournament like that.
He was very soft spoken. It was kind of like I was expecting more of like a personality, and he was just kind of really well mannered.
He loved doing this face.
Yeah, he was very
in real games. Every time I have the Mussman thing, but every time they pan to Shaheen Holloway,
that was one I indeed
he was doing
noticed.
this and looking at the refs.
Now is it
It was the Nick Young face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The meme.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. UNC and Duke, I feel like both their coaches should get a shout out. You have the replacement for Roy Williams.
We don't need to shout out Coach K.
Extreme shoes to
The
fill.
sorcerer.
With the extreme shoes to fill. So you bring Hubert, and you have Roy Williams literally 2 rows behind you, staring you down, and you make it to the Final Four in your first year. That is impressive. And this was a UNC team that was labeled as falling off. They bought in. They got on this crazy run. It's really been a run since that Duke game.
Yeah, for real.
They've been on a tear. And that's the best time to get hot too, is right at the end of the regular season.
I agree completely. Yeah, we need to give Hubert Davis his proper respect for an amazing season.
They could beat Duke.
They were on the bubble before they beat Duke.
They were like first 4 out whenever it was getting to this time.
And all of a sudden they're in the Final Four, and they are playing the witch himself.
Evil. So you have here
sorcerer.
evil sorcerer of the tourney, and Coach K.
Coach K, of course.
I said Roy Williams was pulling some magic from the stands. He was probably like
Coach K is the one casting spells. UNC and Duke have never played each other in the tournament. He does waves his little wand. Flies around on his broom a little bit. Of course, gets an opportunity to have redemption against UNC. Although it is not going to be full redemption because he lost his last game at Cameron Indoor to UNC by double digits. So he will not get full redemption. Although he has gotten to the Final Four, so I guess that's a success when the documentary comes out that Carlos Boozer is supposedly filming. But UNC, we need them to
they're the last
end
hope.
this.
They're the last hope.
I guess there would be Kansas or Villanova.
I'm torn though. I would love to see this magical run, but also UNC at this point is the underdog, so I feel inclined to root for them.
I actually really like all the Duke players individually.
Yeah.
It's just when you put Duke on, and when you're playing for Coach K, can't do that. But AJ Griffin, I really enjoy watching him. Wendell Moore, Mark Williams, I love watching.
He's so. But Banchero's also dirty.
He is. He's probably my least favorite of the Duke players.
Really?
But all the Duke players minus Banchero, minus the Witch.
Is he Slytherin?
I enjoy.
Is he Slytherin for you?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Is he not? I think it's like pretty clear.
I think he's like a
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. You either love him or hate.
No. Coach K is the evilest of evil.
He's comparable to Voldemort in this situation?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
For sure.
Oh no.
Voldemort, you can't say his name.
I just did.
Krzyzewski, you also cannot say that name because it is so many letters.
The coach who must not be named.
That's the spell he uses. Is just his last name because nobody can say it.
He's enchanting curses. He's just doing this the entire time.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So, Final Four, my thoughts. We can't let Duke win. We can't let Coach K go out
this
like this.
This is the anti-Duke campaign.
He can't replace John Wooden as the coach that went out with a title run. Bring in John Shire immediately.
Get Nova UNC rematch from 6 years ago.
Yep.
Holy crap! That was
Kansas, Villanova, and UNC need to just combine rosters.
They need to do the team up
play
thing.
Duke, and take them down.
Then
after that, they can split the trophy 3 ways.
Okay.
I actually had this thought a lot. I mentioned that a lot of the top players kind of bowed out early. E.J. Liddell, Jabari Smith, Jalen Duren, Johnny Davis, Sheboy, Keegan Murray, all these guys. I feel like here's a tournament idea.
Okay.
Once you beat a team, you're able to take one of their players.
Oh.
So eventually you get to this Final Four, you get to the title game. It's all the best players versus all the best players. Plus Doug Edert.
Plus Doug, he's the honorary 6th man.
It's like it'd be like infected on like Call of Duty. you know?
Yeah, except Doug is, instead of it being like a zombie, it's Doug. I love that.
He could be the mascot.
That's great.
Um,
But my pick for the Final Four, I'm going to go with, because the national championship's on Monday, I'm going to go Nova UNC. Coach K's in run.
ooh,
Make you
I like
happy.
that.
Coach
Thank
K, his run is over, and UNC goes off into the sunset with the
puts him
title.
in retirement. Oh, you think UNC is going to win?
I think they're going to ride this. They're on fire.
Okay.
They cannot be stopped.
I
They took
would
down
pi-
St. Peter's.
Villanova is a very solid team. The only issue is Justin Moore has torn his Achilles. That video was kind of gross.
That was gross.
They're already a very thin team. I like Samuels a lot. I like Gillespie a lot. Gillespie's probably the best point guard left.
Yeah.
But I think Kansas probably wins. They have Remy Martin, who's shown up all of a sudden as a terrific point guard. They have Ochai Agbaji. They have Christian Brown. All these guys. I think Kansas beats them, really just because they don't have Justin Moore. And then I gotta say I want UNC to win so badly. So
I'll get the gravestone back for you.
I believe
if
Duke's
Duke
gonna win
wins.
though.
If Duke wins it all, we'll get the gravestone back just for you.
Yeah, we need the gravestone back.
I think it's over there. But
even
we'll,
if Duke loses, we'll bring it back and put
Coach
Coach
K.
K on there, so we
for
can have a
25
little celebration.
25th episode.
25 episodes. It will be next week, so we will
Should I get
celebrate.
We'll get some party hats too.
We will celebrate Coach K's retirement, the ending of his career. We don't need to see him anymore.
Oh jeez.
And
I'm down for that.
yeah, but I believe Duke's gonna win, but I think Kansas will win the whole thing.
Okay. So Kansas Duke, that'll be
yes.
bringing them back to Mario Chalmers vibes.
Yes, Coach K will try and defeat Roy Williams twice, because he coached for Kansas, coached for UNC.
Right.
The ultimate, get back at Roy Williams, but it's not going to happen.
It's not happening. No.
It's not happening.
Heard it here first. The denial here.
Kansas will win. Bill Self will get a championship.
Ooh. Kansas football will forever suck.
Yeah. Well, they beat Texas, so.
Texas is
But that'll probably about wrap it up this week. We appreciate you listening. Appreciate you tuning in, wherever you may be doing that. Appreciate Zach.
the homie.
Producing in the back.
The GOAT.
Anything else?
All I'm going to say is if someone makes a joke about your friend and you are mad about it, just remember it's just a joke. You don't have to walk on stage and slap him in the face. That's my advice of the week.
Yep. That's
Because you might get sent
good
with your
advice.
auntie and uncle to Bel Air. And it might just be
Yep.
really bad. Let's see how many.
Although Bel Air's not a bad place.
It's
to
not
be,
bad.
To be sent.
It's not bad.
So Uncle Phil, rest in peace. But anyways, we will see you all next week for episode 25. So have a good one.
Celebration.